Welcome to the deep dive. Ever feel like, you're kind of living in this matrix of your own phone?
Yeah.
Today, we're really diving into that whole digital dependence thing. You know the one I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
The one we all secretly, or maybe not so secretly, battle.
Right.
You guys sent in this Forbes article about breaking up with your phone, and honestly, it's kind of the wake-up call I think we all need.
Yeah, it's like we've traded real life for just this highlight reel, you know?
Oh, yes.
But the thing is, it's not about chucking your phone in the river or anything.
Okay, good,
It's
because...
more about designing some boundaries, like a relationship with your tech that helps you, not the other way around.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but let's be real. I'm pretty attached to this thing.
Sure.
The article mentions this thing, phubbing,
Yeah.
which sounds kind of funny,
It's catchy, right?
but it's so true. How many times have we all been, halfway through a conversation, eyes glued to our phones?
All the time.
It's more than just be a little rude, right?
Oh, absolutely. Catherine Price, the author, she connects this phubbing to actual changes in our brains.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, we're talking attention spans, gone.
Oh, no.
Stress levels through the roof. Even our sleep takes a hit.
Wow.
And those little notifications, they're designed to suck you in.
Yeah.
Think about it. Flashing lights, colors, they give you that little dopamine hit.
It's true. It's like a little reward.
Exactly. You crave just one more.
Okay, so it's not just me being weak-willed. It's actual science.
It's the science.
Okay, but if we're hardwired for this, where do we even start to, break free?
Well, it's like anything, right?
Yeah.
Step one is admitting you might have a problem.
Okay.
The article calls it knowing thy enemy.
Ooh.
Honestly, it's a little bit of a tough love approach. Download a tracking app. Have you heard of Moment or Off Time?
Yes.
They'll show you exactly how much time you're spending in the digital world. No judgment here, just the cold, hard data.
Ouch, I can already feel the shame creeping in.
I know, it's rough.
But you're right. Knowledge is power. So, say you face the brutal truth of your screen time. What then? Is it just digital cold turkey from there?
Not necessarily. Imagine you look at that tracking app and you see 3 hours on social media.
Oh, gosh. Don't even say it.
Right. Instead of going cold turkey, which, let's be honest, is hard, you start by setting some realistic boundaries.
Okay.
This is what Price calls the digital diet, with food.
Right.
You're making conscious choices about what you consume digitally.
Okay, I like where this is going. So, we've got know your enemy. The digital diet sounds way more appealing than a full detox. But the article also mentions this trial separation thing.
Yes, yeah.
Is that the nuclear option, for when things get really real?
Think of it more like a reset button, We're talking 24 hours, totally phone-free.
Gasp. I can already hear the collective groans from our listeners.
But hear me out. It's not about ditching your phone forever. It's more about remembering what you love to do when you're not glued to a screen.
Remember that feeling of being so engrossed in something that time just disappears? That's what we're aiming for.
Okay, 24 hours, that's intense, but I get it, like a palate cleanser for your brain.
Exactly.
But okay, what if someone's out there hyperventilating at the thought? The article has to have some smaller steps, right? Baby steps to digital freedom.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
The trial separation is the big one, but there are totally smaller things. What if you had no phone zones?
Ooh, no phone zones. I like that.
Yeah.
Designated spaces where the phone just doesn't exist.
Exactly. Maybe the dinner table, right?
Yeah.
Make it sacred grounds.
Yes.
A place for, actual face-to-face conversation.
It's revolutionary, I know. Or how about a no phones in the bedroom?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a tough one, though.
I know, right? It's our phones are basically our bedtime companions these days.
Right. I mean, how else are you going to scroll through TikTok until you pass out? Okay, but seriously, no phone zones. I can get behind that. It's like those no smoking signs, but for our digital addiction.
Right. I love that.
But what about those constant notifications? Even when I try to be present, those things are designed to just pull me right back in.
Oh, tell me about it. Those little red bubbles are engineered to trigger our fear of missing out.
Right.
Turning them off. Honestly, that is a power move. You're deciding what deserves your focus, not letting your phone decide for you.
I actually tried that. A mini version, at least.
Right. Yeah.
Just turned off all notifications for, a day.
Oh, wow. How'd that go?
And you know what? It was kind of amazing.
Really?
I felt this, wave of calm wash over me. Like I could actually hear my own thoughts again.
Right. It's so nice, isn't it?
It was a little unnerving at first, I'm not going to lie. But then it was incredibly freeing.
That's exactly what Price is talking about, like reclaiming that mental space. And it's not just about being, mindful or whatever. It's deeper than that. She talks about how those constant interruptions, those little dopamine hits, they actually make it harder to deeply engage in things,
Oh, totally.
whether it's a conversation, a book, even your own thoughts.
It's so true. I can't tell you how many times I've snapped out of a conversation and realized
Yeah.
I have no idea what the other person was saying.
Yeah.
Because I was mentally scrolling through Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
It's like my brain just forgot how to focus for longer than a nanosecond.
And all that jumping around, that fragmented attention, it's exhausting.
Yes.
It's like running a marathon where you sprint for 5 seconds, then stop to check your phone, sprint again.
the worst.
It's no wonder we're all feeling so fried all the time.
Okay, so we've got digital detox, no phone zones,
Yeah.
taming the notification beast, all good stuff. But the article also goes into social media specifically, which feels like a whole other layer of this digital onion, you know?
Right. Right, because it's not like social media is inherently bad.
Right,
It can be great for connecting, staying informed,
right.
but it's just so easy to get sucked into that comparison trap.
Oh, 100%.
The endless scroll, the pressure to present this perfect life.
It's like we're all living the highlight reel, constantly comparing our behind the scenes to everyone else's, carefully curated feeds. So what's the solution? How do we find the balance between, genuine connection and letting social media just suck our souls dry?
So one thing that Price talks about is deceptively simple.
Okay.
Delete the apps from your phone.
Wait, really? Cold turkey, delete Instagram. But what about all the cute dog videos? I need those in my life.
Okay, but hear me out. It doesn't mean you can never, ever access them again.
Okay.
It's about making it less accessible, less tempting. You can always log on from your computer, but when it's not constantly right there,
Yeah.
you'll be surprised how much mental energy you get back.
Okay, deleting the apps, that's big.
It's a little scary, right?
I'm terrified to even try it. But I get it. I do. Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, it goes back to that whole digital diet idea we were talking about earlier.
Right.
It's not about deprivation, right? It's about making, conscious choices.
Yep.
About what we consume, even digitally.
Okay, yeah.
Making those choices.
But what about those of us who, use social media for work?
Right.
We can't exactly delete the apps and pretend they don't exist.
Of course. And the article talks about that, too. It's not like,
Right.
if your job requires you to be on social media, be more intentional.
Okay.
Set specific times, maybe an hour in the morning, an hour later, instead of that, constant checking.
Right.
Or use one of those, app blockers.
Yeah.
To set some limits.
So even with work stuff, it's about drawing those boundaries.
Yes.
Those digital fences.
I love that.
You stay over there, work stuff, and I'll be over here living my life.
Yes. It all comes back to reclaiming your time and attention. And it's funny because this whole, phone addiction thing, it's pretty new, right?
Right. Yeah, totally.
Our brains haven't really caught up to the constant stimulation, the, always-on culture.
It's true. I remember a time when I didn't even have a cell phone and, somehow I survived.
Right.
But this trial separation thing. Okay, 24 hours, no phone.
It's a long time.
It still freaks me out a little bit. What if I start having withdrawals? Will I turn into, a digital zombie?
Think of it as, this mini adventure for your brain, a chance to reconnect with the world without that, digital filter.
Mhm.
Notice the way the sunlight hits the leaves or, have a conversation where you're just present
Yeah.
without feeling that, phantom phone buzz in your pocket.
Okay, you know what? You're making it sound kinda appealing.
Right.
Like a digital detox for the soul. And maybe, just maybe, on the other side of those 24 hours is a world where I don't automatically reach for my phone every 5 seconds.
Right. Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be kind of nice.
And it's not about being this, tech-hating hermit, right?
Right.
It's about finding balance.
Yes.
That harmony between the digital world and, the real one.
Because let's be real, our phones are amazing tools.
Yeah.
They connect us, they entertain us, they give us access to information. But like any tool, it can be used for good or for,
Or for mindless scrolling.
Exactly. Endless scrolling.
It's so easy to get sucked in.
So easy. So it really comes down to, I guess, just making that choice to use these tools in a way that actually makes our lives better.
100%. Enhances our lives, not like takes away from them.
It's all about being mindful.
Yeah.
So we've gone from feeling a little bit attacked by our phones to, dare I say it, feeling kind of empowered.
Yes.
This deep dive really highlighted like how much power we've given these little devices. What's like the one thing you hope our listeners take away from today's conversation?
I think the biggest thing is just remembering that it's never too late to like redraw those boundaries.
Yeah.
Reclaim your time, your attention. It's not about like, oh, okay, going back to the Stone Age.
Right. It's about remembering that real life is happening right here, right now.
Yes.
And it's a lot more interesting than anything you're going to find on a screen.
Preach. Okay, listeners, here's my challenge for you. Knowing what you know now, what's one small change you can make this week? Think about it. And until next time, happy diving.